Good morning. Good morning, divas. It is almost Christmas where hopefully you guys should be out of school and able to relax a little bit and classes are not happening and all that good stuff. I know that as women going back to school, it's not just, the classes and the tests and all those different things that we have to do. There's a lot of stuff that we're actually so heavily involved in around the Christmas season, and to be honest, the Christmas season really doesn't go on without us. So I just wanted to step on real quick and give you guys a little bit of encouragement, because I saw some of the conversations that are happening in the group right now, and I feel like a lot of you are being kind of hard on yourself. All right, so when we're going back to school in the later stages of our life with kids and with husbands and relationships and aging parents and full-time jobs, it's easy to really get caught up in, I want to have a 4.0 and I want to have a 3.5 and you're trying to do everything you can to not only make it through school, but you're also adding that extra burden on yourself of, I want to be perfect. I want to do the things the right way. I want to make the best grades. I want to, make A's. I want to get a perfect score. Those types of things can really jump on you and cause a lot of negative effects. So I want you guys to be a little bit careful about that, to keep that in mind. Wherever you fall on the GPA scale, going back to school is an accomplishment, okay, at any age, but definitely at the age that we are at this point. We're going back to school, which means we're returning with a lot of different responsibilities that we did not have when we went to school the first time. All right, so it's very, very easy to start getting down on ourselves, to compare ourselves to, either other people or to our past selves. For me in my journey, I was a straight A student. I was literally in every advanced class that you could be in. And on top of that, I was in, band, and I was in gymnastics, and I was playing tennis as number one seed. And I was, doing all these extracurricular activities and going to school at the same time. So, you could label me a high achiever. And a lot of you guys are high achievers as well. So it really can kind of, hit a chord with us or hit a nerve with us when we're not doing as well as we expect ourselves to do. But I would like for you to kind of remove that stress a little bit, take yourself out of that mindset, and just be happy for the accomplishments that you are making just by enrolling into school. Do you know how much courage it takes you to take a leap of faith and go back to school with all of these things on top of you at the same time? Do you know that most people don't do half as much as what you're doing right now? They don't put themselves out there. They don't go towards the unknown. They are comfortable in the space that they're at. Jasana said, girl, I beat myself up completely this week. No, honey, you can't beat yourself up. You can't beat yourself up. Lift yourself up. Don't beat yourself up. Lift yourself up, because it's a journey. I can't tell you how many times when I went to school, how I felt, just stressed, sometimes angry, because I knew I could do better, if I didn't have so much on top of me at the time. And it just added a lot of extra stress that just didn't have to be there. At the end of the day, unless you're an undergrad and you're trying to apply for some graduate school, or you're trying to, meet the requirements to get in or something like that, at the end of the day, when you complete your degree, nobody's going to ask you, okay, why did you get a 3.5 when you could have got a 3.8? Nobody's going to ask you that. They're going to look at that piece of paper. They're going to see what you accomplished. They're going to see that you started something and that you finished something. And that's the most important thing. And even so, don't even let that get in the way. Don't let that make you feel some type of way. If you have to start and take 2 classes and then come back and take a semester off and come back and take 1 class, I don't give a crap what the journey looks like. It's a journey all the same. Okay, so you can't beat yourself up. You can't add that extra stress to you, because stress kills. Actually, stress kills, and it will get in your way. Is that a sweater or a necklace? Thank you. It's a necklace, and I was given to me maybe a couple of years ago, and this is my first time wearing it. So Thank you so much. But yeah, you don't have to add that extra element onto the journey. It's already a rough journey. It's already going to be, something that's going to take a lot out of you. Be positive. Only surround yourself with positivity. Don't, and that includes you too. A lot of times we're our worst critics. All right. So a lot of the times we're beating ourselves up and everybody else around us is looking at us like we're superhuman because they know they couldn't do the fraction of the things that we're doing right now. So hold your head up. Don't let it get to you. Don't get down. Don't stress yourself out. As Claire says, you're right. Most employers are not looking at grade point averages. Like I say, D's get degrees. That's what my mom told me. I'll tell you what the conversation my mother and I had. My mom is also a pharmacist, and I went to pharmacy school with twin daughters who were like 10 months at the time. I was pregnant with them when I started my prerequisites. And when I started pharmacy school, my mom, knowing how much of a perfectionist I was and knowing that I was used to getting, all A's, being president of this and president of that and doing all these extracurriculars, she sat me down and she said, now, Lorraine, you need to get in and you need to get out. All right. I know you're used to getting A's. I know you're used to, having a 4.0. I know you're used to being a president of this and president of that. She said, but C's, get Pharm D's, get your ass in there and get your ass out. Don't be worried about, trying to be the top of this and the top of that. You're going to put too much stress on yourself. And at the end of the day, when you graduate, they still want to call you doctor. That's what she told me. And as not only as my mom, but as a colleague, being in the pharmacy program back in her day, just like I was, it meant a lot to me. It was something that I actually took heed in. I made sure that I did the best that I could with the time that I had, and I made sure that I was doing what I needed to do that was going to help me get further along. So, other students, they had time to, study every day and they could, make flashcards and do all these things, but I wasn't working with that type of time. So I had to be a little bit unconventional. And even still, when I was being unconventional, people were looking at me and laughing at me. And let me tell you, on our senior night, about a week before graduation, they gave out superlatives. They gave me the least likely to show up to class. That was the superlative that they gave me. However, I didn't care because I was running a 6-figure business. I was raising 2 kids and I was going to pharmacy school. And when I graduated, I was going to be called doctor just like they were. So I took it in stride because I had to stop doing the same things that they were doing. I didn't go to class because the way my mind works, I'm not able to sit there for 4 or 5 hours. Before I even got to class to sit there for 4 or 5 hours, I had to get up 5 hours beforehand to get my twin babies ready at the time, put their clothes on, pack their diaper bag, drive all the way to daycare, drop them off, and then fight traffic all the way to school. I was losing 4 or 5 hours that I could have been studying. So I stopped going to class when I didn't have to. So I could take those extra hours and study. And people made fun of me and they called me a slacker and everything else. Meanwhile, I'm the doctor just like they are. So don't let that get in the way of you graduating or being successful, and start taking a look at your self-talk. Negative self-talk can really keep you from hitting your goals. All right. Do not talk negatively to yourself. If you feel some type of way about your GPA, then it's okay to say, hey, I got a 3.5. I'll do a little bit better next time. But take a minute to consider all the things that are on you that are keeping you from, doing sometimes the best that we can, better. Now I won't say the best that we can, to do better. Maybe my GPA is not 4.0 because I can't afford to have a 4.0. I got to go to work. I got to put food on the table. I got to take care of these kids. So don't let that get in the way of you getting to your goals. I'm telling you from experience, it's not worth it, and you're going to put a lot of extra stress on your plate that just doesn't have to be there. All right, so I just wanted to hop on today and give you that message. I'll definitely be hopping on a lot more in the new year so I can keep you guys encouraged. If there's anything that I can offer you, anything that you need outside of motivation or encouragement, definitely tag me in the group. I'll be happy to give you maybe some resources or maybe some ideas or some tricks of the trade that I had learned when I went back to school. All right, have a happy holidays and have a good rest of your day.